So let's talk about how to properly do cold email outreach. So it's something you can do well, but you have to make sure that you're doing it right. And so there's a lot of things that you want to avoid in order to make sure that you're doing the right things with cold email outreach. So it's a great way of getting people on your list and reaching new prospects. So it's something you definitely want to do, but make sure that you're not um, you know, avoiding some of these pitfalls. So let's kind of talk about certain things that you should do and then don't do. So first of all is do personalized email. So you want to have the email tailored to them, their specific needs, their specific, their name, of course. But they're part of a company or something like that, then that's a way to tailor it a little bit to them. Is if it's very generic or they feel like it's generic, then that's what's going to be tough. If it's someone that is like what they do for a profession or something like that, then that's a definite way of getting to them. So if they're like a fitness trainer or if they're an email marketing expert or something like that, those are things to mention in the email. And you can get more personal as well from there too. So if you're trying to outreach to a bunch of people that are fitness trainers, then bring in kind of the fitness trainer type of language in order to make it more personal to them. And if you want to give even more personal, then you can talk about more specifics than that as well. So those are some ideas that you want to do in order to do that. What you want to avoid, especially when you're just doing cold outreach, though, is heavy sales approach. You don't want to just, hey, I'm so and so, please buy my stuff. Of course, it's like any relationship. When you're just first getting to know someone, you just don't ask for the sale or anything like that. You can't unless they're really looking to buy. Then you can't just do that, and it doesn't work out long term anyway. So you want to start off with just hey, let's get to know you, a little more information and things like that. Otherwise they'll just if they don't even know the value of what you bring, those are things you want to avoid as well. So don't do heavy sales. I mean, you want to show that you have something to offer, but you want to give value as well at the same time. The next thing is to keep it short. Okay, so a lot of times you don't want to be super long-winded and give a lot of information and just dump everything on them. It's like again, a relationship. If I'm gonna start a conversation, the last thing you're gonna do is just dump everything on them about you and your company and everything you do and all that stuff. Is you want to come in, give some value, give short information, enough to create some curiosity. If they want to learn more, you'll learn more in later emails, or they can find more about you online as well. So that's something that would be really well taken by a lot of people, because also if it's a long email, people are just going to look at it. It's like, I don't want to read that. Why do I have to read that? You get hundreds of emails all the time. The last thing you want is to read a novel on your computer screen. So keep it short and keep it simple. And don't use anything that's misleading. So, especially with your subject line. So, that is one of the things about, clickbaity type of subject lines are terrible. They get good open rates, but they are terrible. Never, never, never use that. The worst thing you can do is this bait and switch type of thing or any kind of clickbait stuff and things like that. You want to be straightforward in your subject lines, especially with cold outreach. They don't know you, so anything that's clickbaity will likely end up being thrown away pretty quickly. And so, even if they do open it and read it, they're less likely to even want to trust you because they feel like they've just been bait and switched the whole thing to do with that. So, that's what you definitely want to avoid. Next thing you do want to do is we talk about this a lot is have a good strong call to action. Now you want them to do something. You don't want them necessarily to buy, but you want them to learn more. You want them to reply. You want them to give you information or schedule a call. Certain things like that aren't selling someone and making them pay you money necessarily right away, especially if it's cold, because likely they won't. I mean, it's really hard for people to trust someone online So it's going to take some time before they would actually pay you, but you can get them on a phone call. You can get them to a webinar or more information on our website. There's all of those things. So those are great call to actions on a cold email, just so that you're learning more and understanding what you can do more for them as well. So those are the things that you want to do. And then if you're doing like mass emails, make sure you're personalizing them. So it kind of goes back to the first one, but don't like send like these major mass emails to everything, because people will know. And so it's not something that people know. People get mass emailed all the time about stuff, and so you want to avoid that as much as possible. And so you want to really personalize it so it feels like it's coming to them. It's not just being massively put everywhere, because that's not going to be bode well for someone that doesn't even know who you are, and they'll start questioning, well, how did they get my email, or how did this even come here? So that's what you need to do. So again, cold outreach is great. It takes some time for them to warm up for you, and then they become warm leads. So, but if you do it right, you'll avoid a lot of issues with people just throwing your stuff away without even considering it, and able to start growing your list from that way as well. So hopefully this has been helpful, and talk soon.